Thanks for joining me on this episode of Winning Strategies. We're going to talk about some of the data behind some of the big numbers you read about in the papers. We're going to talk about how to talk to your clients about rising interest rates, and then we're also going to talk about profitability and consistency in your practice. So join me on this episode of Winning Strategies. There's a lot of talk about changes in our industry, and we've all heard the stat for the last several years that there are 10,000 Americans retiring every day through 2030. So that's great news for us. However, I think it's really important that we understand some of the numbers behind those 10,000 Americans retiring every day. There are major changes in the demographics of the United States. First of all, over the next decade, 57% of the American population will be over the age of 65. Also, we're going to change from 78% down to 54% for non-Hispanic white population. That's a significant cultural change for many of us in the financial planning world. There's more women living longer, and they're living alone, especially after age 75. And there's been a 25% increase in the number of retirees that have earned a bachelor's degree. So what does that all mean for us? Well, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have to change the way that we plan. We're going to have to recognize the cultural differences of our retiree population than what's been in existence for the last 2 decades. With more people earning bachelor's degree and having access to the internet, that means that they have access to more information than they've ever had before. So your winning strategy this week is to recognize the changes in the American population, especially the retiree population. Change the way you think and act differently to that population so you can address their needs. The Federal Reserve announced that they plan to raise interest rates 2 to 3 times in the following 12 to 18 months. That's a significant problem for a lot of our clients. Many people think higher interest rates mean higher returns. But the problem is that a 1% change in interest rate translates to a 5.8% decrease in the value of the bond price. So we're going to see a lot of people actually losing money. So one of the alternatives that you can do is use a fixed annuity. But traditional MYGAs have locked in interest rates. And so a lot of clients don't want to lock in today's interest rates, knowing that the Federal Reserve is going to bump up interest rates as many as 3 times over the next 12 to 18 months. So ask yourself 3 questions. Do you believe that interest rates are going to rise over the next 12 months? Do you want your client's interest rate to be linked with those rising interest rates? And then 3, are you open to looking at a new type of MYGA, multi-year guarantee annuity, that can credit as much as 5.2% interest when interest rates move up significantly? If you're interested in that, please call our sales desk at 1-800-589-3000. Learn about our limited distribution product that will link your client's interest rates to the Federal Reserve increases in interest rates. So again, your winning strategy is call our sales desk, ask for more information about our rising interest rate product. When we evaluate money managers and insurance companies, we're looking for steady, consistent returns. How do those professional money managers do that? Well, they do it with a consistent process. When we take a look at our practice, we don't always have a consistent flow of revenue because we don't always have a consistent flow of prospective clients coming into our practice. What we need to do is duplicate and mirror some of the things that are going on in money management and insurance companies as they process their investment portfolio. We need to do the same thing in our practices. We need to have a process from the front end all the way to the back end, all the way from the initial conversation with the client all the way through the fulfillment of the product or service. That means that we have to have an established process of marketing. So many times we start that process when we're doing the discovery process. I'm going to challenge you to think about your marketing in 2019. Think about how many times that you go to a networking event, how many times that you have a different message on your website or your collateral material. Let's think about clarifying your message and simplifying your message this year. So your winning strategy this week is to develop a repeatable process that can bring prospective clients into your practice on a regular basis. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Strategies. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to Ash Brokerage on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Good selling.